stop. A family shop. Think Thayer. Come on, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get moving. Think Thayer.
You seem to be the biggest critic of the offense. You're harshest on them, at least, I would think. How could you find something wrong in looking back at the film with what happened on Saturday? Is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible. We tipped the ball up in the air for an interception we should have caught. The offense, that was their best day. I'm really excited for the players that they finally got an opportunity to see what it's supposed to look like. And that was a good UMass team, but Akron's defense is one of the best defenses in the East. It may be the best defense in the East. We're gonna have a very stout opponent to go against, and it'll be interesting to see how we can do, not only offensively but defensively and special teams wise against that Terry Bowden group.
Obviously at Eastern you were part of a lot of good offensive performances. Where does this one rank in those against those games?
It falls into line. I've always said, second year somewhere between game 4 and 6, and once it hits, once you taste it, hopefully you like the taste and it's something that you want to do again. We've got to go back on the practice field. We've got to go back and we got to practice hard. We got to prepare well. We really had a fantastic week of practice last week, and it was good to see that it showed on the football field. Now we got to go back and prepare again for a very fine Akron team.
You said you had a good week. Did something click? Was there an aha moment, or what was it?
There comes a time in the season where I think guys drop their selfishness. They fall into their roles, and they understand that when they get their opportunity, they're going to give the best. They're going to do the best that they can possibly do for their family. And I really kind of got that feeling last week. Guys were really locking into their roles that have developed with this football team at the stage where we're at right now, and I think it showed on the football field.
Talked a lot about the complexity of this offense, and we've heard over and over when it's going to finally show, like you said, and what makes the offense so complex? Just all the different moving parts, or have to do with the tempo, everything like that.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because it's on video and stuff like that, and I've probably said more about the way we do things with our offense this year than I've had my first 3 years as a head coach. So I'm going to pull back on some of that stuff now, because I look around the league and I've seen 3 teams in our conference that looks extremely similar to us, and which is a compliment that they're doing things like that they're imitating. What's the word I'm looking for? Imitating some of the things that we're doing, which is good. I think we do good stuff, and all coaches take from each other. But questions like that now, I'm gonna pull back on. I'm gonna just withhold information and kind of wait for the next question.
Well, just how important is the communication throughout everybody?
It's important. It is. That's why it takes normally to the second year for the communication to be right.
Is there a worry or a concern about complacency? We've had our moment. We've set our record.
That's not a record. I've had more than that, I'm sure.
For these guys in this program,
I think it's more of, now that we've done that, what else can we do? I mean, that should be their attitude, and I think that's the attitude they're going to take, no matter what.
Is there a ceiling? I mean, is there a point where it's as good as it can get, or can it get better?
I think it can get better. I think we can definitely get better. We had 6 incompletions. We had an interception. We had a ball that was very close to being out on right on the goal line. It was called a touchdown. I'm glad it was. I mean, ball security. Quarterback got sacked one time on a special play that we didn't execute. That could have been a touchdown if it came out clean. So we got room to improve.
Seems kind of like you're nitpicking a little bit. I mean, do you have to be that way to keep everybody on their toes?
You've been married a long time, haven't you? You know how it goes.
Coach, would you talk a little more about Akron, especially what you've seen defensively? What are the items that make them so stout?
They have the front seven is excellent. They have a very good down line. Their linebackers are active. They've got, I think they have a transfer in, or they offensively they got a transfer in from Colorado State. Defensively, they have a transfer in from Ohio State. They also have another, I want to say Temple. They have another transfer in on their defense. Their front seven's outstanding. They've got covered corners on the back end, a free safety that's active. But I mean, these guys, I mean, this is the physicalness of this game is going back up to a Big Ten physical type game. Their defense is that physical, and that's the reason why they're ranked so high in the East.
And then offensively, will you talk a little bit about what their quarterback has done to kind of get their offense started?
He's started the last 3 games. He is a passer / runner type, kind of like the guys that are up at Ohio State. They like to run the quarterback. I believe he had 80 yards in the last game. And between the running of the quarterback with their 200-pound tailbacks, you know, they run that, you don't know who's going to get the ball, quarterback reading it, zone read stuff. And then their receiver, I want to say Lane, is a 6'3" wide receiver that goes up and gets the ball. He's their go-to guy. And then they have another 6'5" guy and another 6'2" guy, and they like to throw those back shoulder fades because the receivers are so tall. So you know, we're gonna have our hands full. These guys, they have the complete package, and with that defense, it doesn't take much for them to be into a football game, and those guys are hard to score on.
Will you also, Tate is Special Teams Player of the Week. Will you talk a little bit about TT on Saturday?
TT did what he always does. He walked out there and 2 for 2 and knocked the field goals through, and I want to say he was perfect on the PAT part of it. You know, although some people in the room doubted him, I've never doubted TT's ability, and you know, regardless of what his percentage is, I still think he's the best kicker in the league.
It's kind of off ball, but Alfonso Mack, what do you think about him as a person? Not just a player, but you know, just what he's like off the field.
I think Alfonso Mack is cool. You would want Alfonso Mack to marry your daughter. He's that cool. He's a cool cat. He's a good guy off the field, quality young man. He's going to be a fantastic father and a fantastic husband. He's a really good guy off the field.
For his situation, have you had players playing, you know, obviously he's playing because of an injury, but you know, one of those guys who's not on scholarship but contributing as much as he is right now?
We had Gus last year, okay? Taylor Royster at a point in his career. Burbs at a point in his career. I mean, if you're a fantastic guy playing college football in high school football in the state of Ohio and you want to get a scholarship, it's a very good bet. If you come to Bowling Green State University, you're going to have an opportunity to get one. I think Alfonso's doing a nice job. Our motto has always been that you need to do it on the field, and if you do it on the field, we'll take care of you. And I think we've proved that throughout the years that that's something that we've always done.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks.